My name is Levine, and I train professional boxers and amateur boxers. Professional trainers are almost like professional fighters, where they come up the ranks themselves and they look for the breaks, and they move up the ranks just like fighters do. I've been lucky enough I've never trained any big world champions, but I have been lucky enough I trained a guy named Peter Cunningham. He was a 7-time kickboxing world champion, and I trained him for a couple years with his hands. I was lucky enough I co-trained a guy named Juan Carlos Gomez, and he was 10-time cruiserweight champion of the world. He fought for the heavyweight championship of the world a couple years ago in Germany, and I co-trained him. I was not his head trainer, but I did co-train him. I have trained some good fighters. I've trained a kid that was on the '96 Olympic team for Mexico. I turned him pro. His name was Samuel Lopez. We won a couple state titles. We fought on HBO. He got as high as ranked as number 8 by the IBF. I've trained countless preliminary guys. I have one up-and-coming fighter right now by the name of Dion Elam. I feel he's very talented. I feel definitely that he will challenge for a world title, at least in the next year. He's 12-1 with 6 knockouts. He had a good amateur career. We've been together about a year. We've had 3 fights together, and I feel he definitely has the talent to fight for a world title. I have trained a couple female fighters. I've trained a female fighter by the name of Kathy Long. She also was a kickboxing champion, and when she wanted to fight professionally boxing, she came to me. I trained her for her professional boxing fights. And I've trained, they call him the gatekeeper. His name was Fernando Zuniga. He was a contender at middleweight and super middleweight. A gatekeeper is, if you have a prospect, if you can beat this guy, you know your guy can go to the next level. That was Fernando. I trained a guy from Italy by the name of Sven Paris. He was a 2000 Olympian for Italy. When he came to the States, he hired me. I trained him for a couple fights. And but right now, I have high hopes for Dion Elam, my cruiserweight. And like fighters, the trainers are always looking for that break and for someone out there to send them the next champion of the world. I am the Pat Node family's boxing coach. They come to the States once a year, and they seek out training from specialists, a ground game, a kickboxing game, a boxing game. I'm their boxing coach. And I've seen very few athletes pick it up the way the brothers pick up the boxing, especially Martin. He's very technically sound, hits very hard, and is extremely dedicated to the sport. Matter of fact, if he lived here in the States, even at his age, I would feel comfortable in getting him some amateur fights and see where he could go with it. If you're ever in Canada, you have to look the schools up and see what they do there. Visit fangshen.com and go visit the brothers, and you will not be disappointed.